Smith
Bronny,
show.
Bronny.
Philadelphia.
Bronny.
Where Bronny James last night played his most minutes by far in an NBA game last night as the Lakers lost to the 76ers 118-104. Bronny was held scoreless in 15 minutes and struggled guarding Sixers star Tyrese Maxey. Before I get to my thoughts, please take a listen to Coach J.J. Redick and what he had to say about Bronny's performance last night. Take a listen.
I maybe put him in a tough spot,
you
flying
damn
up
sure.
yesterday, and
Maxey a tough guard.
tell by his game and Philly, all that stuff. It's he didn't play well, but he's been playing great. In the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great in the G.
I was on First Take, my day job on ESPN earlier this morning, and I spoke about this, and I felt the need to elaborate even further because a couple of people text me and pissed me off, and they know who they are. People close to LeBron James talking to me about questioning him as a father. Come on, y'all.
Question this man's fatherhood.
I mean, it's got to a point where this LeBron sensitivity is just beyond the pale. You call him the second best player in the history of the game. You're insulting him because you said he's not the GOAT. You're saying that at age 40, we've never seen anybody do what he does, but pointing out at times how he may not have hustled back on defense in a key pivotal moment, and that's a problem. You give him all the praise in the world when he drops 40, but he has a bad night, and you say he had a bad night, and you're hating. It's ridiculous.
This LeBron hate is out of control, man.
But never
that's these social media things.
More ridiculous than it is right now, because the reality is that we got to be real about what we're seeing when we talk about Bronny James. I am not a person that had a problem with Bronny James being on the court for the season opener with LeBron James. That was a phenomenal moment.
That was a good moment.
To see a father on the court with his son who has NBA aspirations playing together for the first time in NBA history.
That felt great.
The Griffeys in baseball, Ken Griffey Sr. and
everybody was there.
It was a special moment.
Special moment.
My position has always been that should have been the only moment we saw Bronny James in a Lakers uniform this season. Because he's not ready.
He's not ready.
I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing his thing. I think he's going to be fine eventually. But that's not the case yet. And because it's not the case yet, and then you see some of these numbers, I do find myself looking at LeBron James instead of Bronny James. Because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top two greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know. So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more. But you see what you see. Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen,
listen to these numbers.
0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range.
That's tough.
And he's playing in the first quarter
That's tough.
of an NBA game? Really? And everybody wants to look at it as LeBron has nothing to do with that. He didn't tell J.J. Redick to put him in the game. I get all that.
He didn't tell J.J. to take him out.
Oh, come on. I'm not being cruel to Bronny. I'm looking out. Do you want it this way?
He said he looking out.
LeBron? Do you want it this way, Rich Paul? Do you want it this way?
It's not looking too good at all.
He can't go into the G League and average 20, 25, and stay there until he's ready.
Head connected,
Because he's LeBron's son, you know how they're going to judge him. And before anybody wants to jump on me, remember, I never saw Bronny James play until he showed up in the NBA and the G League. I refused to watch him because if I watched him, I would have to talk about him, and I didn't want to talk about LeBron James' son because I thought it was so unfair to the kid. He's such a wonderful kid.
He's a good kid. Man.
Wonderful family.
He having hair struggles. That little
You don't wanna
Lionel
hear me
Richie, little
talk about
1980s
questioning
Jerry
LeBron
curl
James'
got.
fatherhood. LeBron,
And speaking of the game,
how many times do I have to rave
damn, I can't
about
show it.
LeBron James?
Speaking of the
On
throw, they
ESPN,
just showed.
I put up a ticker. Great father,
Bronny's
great husband,
hair struggles,
great
man.
philanthropist, great businessman, great actor, great producer,
Bronny's
great
hair
director.
struggles.
Great. How many times have I said that? I'm simply saying, yo, he's not ready yet.
Bronny's hair struggles, man.
And to put him out there, getting him exposed to that,
Getting cooked.
it's really hard to watch.
Getting hibachied out there. Actually,
When
it's
Kobe
hibachi.
Bryant was a rookie and shot those air balls in that closeout playoff game against the Utah Jazz, people were talking about he wasn't ready for the moment. And I thought it was unconscionable what Coach Del Harris at the time did to him by throwing him to the wolves.
He did. I didn't expect Kobe to get in that game.
How he's going to end up being the greatest ever because he was chasing Jordan, and they
That
got
was kinda
tired of
premature
his
for Kobe.
mouth and his bravado. And he threw him to the wolves very unfairly, which I think is something that ultimately ruined Del Harris because he shouldn't have done that. But nobody questioned whether or not Kobe Bryant belonged in the NBA. Nobody questioned that. With
Look,
Bronny
man.
James, they're questioning it.
Listen,
Because there's no collegiate career to speak of because
Bronny is nepotism to the fullest degree. It's a travesty that he's even in the league. He having hair struggles. It got a lot to do with his hair. That little 1980s Lionel Richie, that little Lionel Richie, little mullet slash Jerry curl slash shag he got going on. That definitely is not helping him. And I just, Bronny, you wasn't a McDonald All-American. See, Bronny had that coach's son swag, but LeBron wasn't a coach, and it's like you can't have that coach's son barely play the game or barely show out, always be poised and wait for the big moments of like you ain't never did nothing. I used to watch Bronny James high school games, and he always had a dog on his team doing all the work, and he would play the role like, I'm LeBron James' son. I could do a lot more, but I'm just chilling because I'm LeBron James' son, and I'm way better than what I'm putting out, so I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna get a couple good steals. He always tried to play like he was redshirting his game for the NBA, and now he there, and it's like, wah, wah, wah. I mean, Stevie A, man, I know you want to have his back, man. I know you want to look out for him, Stevie, but he's just not cutting it, Stevie. He's just not cutting it, Stevie. I'm sorry. I know that's LeBron's son and all that good stuff. But,
because he had the health issue and never really did anything at USC in his only year there.
he didn't do a damn thing.
And he ends up getting drafted 55th overall.
I wonder what he did.
And I don't care about the money that he's going to end up making. Like, he'll end up making over a span of a couple of years, $8 million, while the other 55th pick from the year before that probably made about $800,000. The hell with that. LeBron James is underpaid. LeBron James is underpaid. He should get paid much more than he's getting paid. And any money that he can get for his son, he can get for Rich Paul, he can get for anybody, he should get, because he is underpaid with what he means to the NBA. I don't
But
care
Bronny
about the
still
money.
sucks.
I care about what the kid is being exposed
Talk about he the next
to.
Donovan Mitchell. But,
With LeBron James' mystique hovering over him.
all bad.
0.3 points, 0.3 assists, 0.4
no.
rebounds.
Stop.
1 for 16 shooting overall, 0 for 7 from 3-point range,
That's-
13 games.
Stevie.
There are millions of kids out there starving to play in an NBA game
That's true.
that are more qualified than his stats show.
Nepotism, y'all.
And what I'm saying is, if you see a son being exposed to things they may not be ready for, when do you wrap your arms around them?
Man, I'm done. Pull the plug on Bronny. Man. Let him go. Bronny, you could start a little camp. You could start a little LeBron James son camp. But the NBA is just, start a camp, LeBron. Little Bronny.